What is going on, everybody? It is David Palmer, the Leo King. Hope everybody is doing wonderful out there. I am here for my live show, which I like to do on Monday or Tuesdays here on Facebook, and go over the astrology, talk about what I think is important to me astrologically going on, and just kind of go over questions, what's going on in the Leo King world. It's just a fun way to do it. Hope you guys are all doing well, whether it's morning, mid-afternoon, or night, wherever you are in the world right now. Of course, we are live always in the chat room, so you can join us on Facebook in the chat where I like to answer questions and so forth. So a lot to always talk about, and I love to be here in the chat talking with you live on Facebook. Last week we answered a lot of questions. I'm hoping to get to some today. Looks like we got a good amount of people in here to join, so I'm excited about that. But I really want to talk about the approaching Venus transit that is happening this week. The Venus-Sun transit, while Venus is retrograde, is a very rare one, happens every 18 months, and it's happening this week. I titled this video, Venus approaching the Sun in retrograde and Mercury entering chaos. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Of course, I cover it much deeper in the Uncut Astrology Report. If you are a member of my app and a subscriber, I do the Uncut Astrology. I do your sun sign horoscopes. I do your daily horoscope videos where I break down everything day to day. You can get that at the leokingapp.com or get it on the Google Play or Apple iPhone iTunes store. But yes, Venus is going through a very crazy transit this week while Mercury's into a lot of chaos. So this is a very Venus-Mercury week. We'll actually do a little bit of the astrology chart to kind of show it. I'm actually doing the chart for right now. Well, I set it up about 30 minutes ago. This is about 30 minutes ago, but we're getting ready. As you can see right here, the sun just entered into Aries. We just had the new year. Happy New Year anyway for everyone, by the way. And the sun has now entered into the equinox zone, and we are now moving into a whole different place. We're at equal day, equal night. We're more importantly in Aries, the exaltation of the sun. And Venus is going to come into contact with the sun by Friday and Saturday this week, in this in-between spot right here. And this is very powerful because it brings up a lot of karma. It brings up a lot of really deep inner, like introspective looks, but inner work about relationships, about your values, about who you are, what you want to do. Now, you got to also remember that the last time that Venus and the sun conjuncted in this spot in a retrograde was 8 years ago. I mean, it's been 8 years. So you got to look at your life around this time of 2009 and how you were percolating on doing this persona or creating this identity, and especially what was going on in your relationship life then. And how that was changing as well. It's interesting to see that persona, that person you were at that time. Look at March, April of 2009. Now, I know some people have horrible memories with the past, or they try and kind of remove the past in their life. But I think it is so important for you to look deep at your past at that moment in your life, because not that it's coming back right now, but there's a similarity. There is a pattern there. There is something that is going on that is in many ways very reflective of that energy. And it's not as, and it could be, it depends on your chart, but it's much more of the spiritual essence of it all, I'm going to give you guys like a personal example that is going through in my life right now. So in March and April of 2009 for me, I was on unemployment. So you can't connect because I'm employed now. I own my own business. But, what was going on was I was becoming a house DJ and an astrologer, and really hadn't had too many gigs. Just had done a couple gigs in 2008, really, but really was a novice at it all. But it had been something that I'd been doing for like 10 years for fun, in the rave scene and all that. Maybe even a little less. 2009. Yeah, 99 now. I was just listening to Daft Punk and stuff in 99 and 2000. It was more like, I'd been doing it for a while. Then at that time, I was also becoming an astrologer, something that I've been doing for a long time, readings people and everything, and really starting to bridge my astrology. At the same token, I was in a relationship that was in a very weird space with me internally, and I fully hadn't, cut the cord, I guess you could say, and I was debating on whether I should or not, and there was a lot of lingering around or trying to make it work even though I didn't want to. There was a lot of weird stuff. Now, flash forward into my life now, it's interesting, powerful relationships going on in my life right now, powerful aspect of becoming a jet ski racer, something that I've been doing a long time in my life, but really never did it professionally. And I'm starting at the novice level and work my way up. So it's kind of interesting how it all works, how there's patterns that are coming back with this aspect. And this week I think is going to be a little chaotic because I think what goes on deep inside of ourselves this week, because Venus retrograde definitely deals with a much more inner part. And the reason why Venus retrogrades on the sun are so important and why I'm going to show you, actually, let's pull up the chart for when this happens. The reason why this is so powerful is when the sun conjuncts Venus, right? So if we see this down here in the chart, Venus disappears. Right now, this is the end of Venus as the evening star. So at night, right, Venus has been out. But now that the sun is going to be blinding Venus for a while, Venus is going to go what we call into the underworld. So the sun is going to move forward, okay? The sun's going to move forward. As Venus has been moving the other way, they're conjuncting. So this is a powerful moment. But as the sun moves forward, okay, boom, and Venus moves backward, you won't see the Venus in the nighttime anymore, and Venus goes into this odd spot where it's being blinded by the sun and it's disappeared. It's in the underworld. This goes way deep inside of ourself. And we're going to deal with the deep things that we want to define ourselves by, who we want to be, the kind of relationships we are. There's a lot of relationship aspects going on, especially with this week, when you see that at the time of this Venus retrograde conjunct the sun, Mercury is going to be in some very crazy aspects. Let's show you. Mercury will have opposed Jupiter, and will have squared Pluto. And so we have Jupiter, Pluto, which are starting their square again during this Venus transit. And we have Mercury, which is going to be in the middle of the chaos, which we call a T-square right here. And what this means is, it's going to be difficult because with Jupiter square Pluto now, this is dealing with big commitments. This is dealing with big issues. This is dealing with huge aspects in our life that have to make big decision points. And it's not going to be easy to make those decisions. Mercury's going to be in the chaos. It's going to feel chaotic mentally for us to try and figure it all out. Plus the moon this week, you got to remember, as this is all happening, the moon is waning, which means, it was just at its 3/4 squares we're talking, right, in Capricorn. And then the moon has to meet up with the sun because we have a new moon at the beginning of next week. So the moon is in a waning process, and it's going to go dark in the sign of Pisces, where there's a lot of weird energy going on anyways. So this is not going to be a very simple Venus retrograde conjunct the sun hallelujah moment. The hallelujah moment is the moment where you realize inside of yourself that what you want, what you're attaining, what you want to do in relationships, the things that are going deep inside of yourself, not that they're far away, but they're going to take a massive change in order to get them. And in order to get to where you want to go in that place with relationships, in order where you want to go with that place in your life of defining yourself, your values, your rituals, the things that you want to develop in your life. Like, this is where it's all going to be intense. So, because if you combine all this stuff at the same time hitting that this very, very, very fated transit is happening, okay, coming up here this weekend, and you can already feel it in yourself now. You can feel that when the sun came into Aries yesterday on Monday, it was a Monday that was like a pow, was an intense aspect. On the global stage, we're seeing it, extreme, We're seeing massive amounts of things come up. The sun just went through Chiron and Saturn, right? Remember we had Chiron and Saturn last week? Here, this is today's chart. But if we look, the sun just was, 6 days ago on Chiron, and just even on Friday it was squaring Saturn. So the sun just came out of a very massively difficult aspect. So there's some deep aspects, or some deep wounds, there's some deep things that have kind of happened. Some stings, some burns, whatever you want to call it. And then we're coming into this massive fated transit. There's a lot this week going to be unpredictable. Just based upon what I see in the astrology, there's a lot of weird aspects with the moon going to come into Aquarius for a lot of this buildup this week. The Mercury-Uranus conjunction, the moon sextile Uranus this week in Aquarius, the Jupiter aspect that's still, of course, opposing Uranus that'll be activated by Mercury. Mercury and Jupiter are opposite aspects, right? They're different. They're opposites, right? Mercury is about the intelligent, factual mind, and Jupiter is about the higher, much more philosophical mind. So there's a very big battle of what's philosophy, what is philosophically right for me to do, what is more intelligent for me to do, what is what I really deeply want, with the big square to Pluto this week that the moon's going to start to cover tonight. So you're going to start feeling things already tonight about, like, am I really wanting to do this? What is it that I want to commit to? What is it not that I want to commit to? I mean, this is a lot going on in this space. So now, for some people, it might be, very hard. Like, I can already sense when I tap into my guides and I tap into the energy, like, it's not simple. I know. It's not simple to do what you really want sometimes. It's not simple to make those big choices, those big decisions. Like, it's hard to step into your real power. It's hard to, we don't want to disrupt things. With Jupiter and Libra, we don't want to disrupt anything. We want to keep the harmony going, but it's very difficult when you throw this much Aries, and you throw a Venus retrograde in Aries, and you throw a Mercury in Aries, and you throw a Uranus in Aries, and you throw if you looked at how powerful the equinox ingress of the sun in Aries was, let's just look at it. Let's go to Monday, so it's the 20th, and let's go to the exact moment. There it was. That it was 0 degree Aries, right? So, and we had, guess what we had? Boom. We had the moon and Saturn conjunct. So if you really think that this is going to be a year of easy breezy cover girl, I mean, sure, there's a lot of positive aspects to this year and so much greatness, but it's going to take work, tough decisions to get your dreams, to get your beliefs, to get your open doors. It's not going to just be like the door's wide open for you. You're going to have to push the door open. You're going to have to find your inner courage to push it open in your life without all this Aries energy that's going on this year in this astrological new year that we like to call it. It's not going to just be, it's just like as easy as, it's just going to happen. It's like there's a part of us that really has to deal with the, moon conjunct Saturn is not all bad, even though it's not the easiest. They don't like each other. They don't get along with each other, but they also are very relative to each other, the mother and father aspect. It's really needing to, and the child father aspect, it's like learning to grow up. It's a big year about like growing up and owning your power. And you got to own your power. It's a big, big thing. So this week definitely is going to be a major grow up karmic aspect coming up, and how we all deal with it. Well, maybe you should watch the Leo King app for that. So I got a couple announcements, and we'll go into some questions next. But I'm actually doing a live show in San Diego next week. It is called Path of the Prophecies. So what this is basically, it's an awesome event that I'm going to be doing with my good friend Anna Naturalista, where we've been friends for years. And we're going to talk about the subjects, whether it's crazy subjects of all the spiritual subjects people want to talk about. What's making this stuff so crazy? Whether you want to talk, like lately I've been seeing a lot of things in the sky that just don't make sense to me with the weather patterns and stuff that all this like just weird stuff. I'm at a place to where it's like I just want to bring out all of my crazy spiritual knowledge. Like my Age of Deception stuff was fun with time, but now it's time to go deeper with whether it's alien subjects, whether it's weird things that are happening in the government right now, and combining it all with the astrology. So this is going to be next week. Pathoftheprophecies.com. It's just $49 for the whole day. It's like an 8-hour day presentation that we're going to be doing. If you want to join us, if you're in San Diego, it is available to hang out with us. We're going to be at this awesome house in San Diego on the beach. It's going to be an amazing thing with a dinner and a dance party and whole presentation. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on for this next couple weeks is, what the F is going on, and let's bring up all the stuff that's doing it, A lot of people want to know about this stuff, A lot of people want to know about what the F is going on. Why is there so much crazy stuff going on? Let's look at it. Let's look at the combination of it all. Let's see how this is the right moment that, the prophecies have talked about in our lives. My whole fascination has always been 2012, always the moment that has brought us to now, which is this prophecy. And that's what I like to talk about. So that's what this is going to be about. So I'm excited to do this live event. I'm excited to do it with Anna. She has so much information to bring out. And I think it's very important. So I'm going to show you guys the flyer real quick. But it's super fun. It's on April 2nd, pay-per-view event. It's about really empowering yourself and the tools to do it. Of course, I'm going to use the astrology. I'm going to combine it with a lot of the other things that are there. We're going to do a group healing. We're going to do a Venus sunset meditation when Venus switches signs on April 2nd from Aries into Pisces. We're going to be doing that as well. That'll be live. But really to know that you're okay and to feel guided and protected. But also, a lot of people are very anxious about the world events, government events, corporate, environmental, financial, and how to bring ease to that, to look at the astrology about that, to look at the other aspects about that. So that's something else that we're going to be doing as well. So real quick, I'm going to play a teaser of, what we're going to be talking about. And I'll be back after this break to answer your questions. So don't go nowhere now. Just watch this. It's only 3 minutes long, and I'll be back in 1 sec.
Blessings, everyone. This is Ana Naturalista here with the amazing David Palmer, Leo King, brought to you live. And we've been friends for...
it's like 5 years now, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And we're reconnected. Spirit literally came down and said, we connect and do this amazing live show together, especially during the Venus retrograde. I was like, okay, let's do it.
People need to know. They need to know what's going on, right? Not only what's happening right now, but all of the path of the prophecies to bring us to this point where we are. So this class that we've created isn't just going to be one day, but this is where we're going to start. We're going to start with a live one-day event, and then it'll include a nice yummy tapas dinner, and then a dance party afterwards, and it's on a super powerful day.
It really is. I mean, not just only astrologically, but where we are in just total time right now, you can feel it. What the F is going on? That's something that we really want to bounce back and forth, more than astrology, more than all these other subjects. We want to bring it all together because if you have all this knowledge, you can come into the true path of the prophecies, but more importantly than that, your destiny. Come into unity. There's so much separation going on right now. We all need to come together. It's like, why is there these feelings that are deep inside of us? Like, I don't know if I should be part of that or whatever. It was like when she called me and we wanted to reconnect, it was like, we're doing this.
Yes.
Let's bring unity together. Of course, she's another Leo, so it's like a double Leo party. But it's like
always fun.
It's always going to be fun. But you know what? That we're going to be doing it online, so you can be with us, be part of the meditation that's going to be happening as Venus switches from Aries into Pisces. You know how I do my live events. If you don't know me or if you haven't seen my live events, they are incredible. Multiple camera views. We're going to be sharing the slides with you. You're going to be part of the whole entire show.
Absolutely.
But if you want to meet us in person, be part of the food, be with us on the beach with this awesome sunset and the meditation, you can be with us in San Diego. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
I'm so excited to share this meditation with you too, because Venus goes retrograde on that day.
Well, it switches from Aries to Pisces. It's already retrograde, but it's going to do this switch which is always really funky. It's going to be switching. It's in the underworld too. Venus is going to be in the underworld, which means it's moving from the evening star to the morning star. So there's this very switcheroo energy with relationships, values. You can feel it right now in your life as this old part of yourself and the karma that you've dealt with is kind of really coming up for you to have to release, so this new identity comes out. Plus it's a 1 year in the numerology. Kind of interesting to kind of tie all these things together right now.
So that's what we're going to do, is to bring it all together so that you can make sense of it, give you some awesome tools so that you can actually integrate and apply it to your life so that you have the trust and confidence to make the decisions that you need to and really fulfill your own purpose.
Yeah, so if you want to watch it live on pay-per-view or you want to join us in person in San Diego, pathoftheprophecies.com. Pretty easy.
Path of the Prophecies.
Woo! Yeah, make sure that you put it out there. I'm so stoked to do this with you.
I'm so honored and so excited to join forces with you to share this information and really bring back that unity consciousness so that we can all remember why we're here.
Awesome. Pathoftheprophecies.com. We will see you April 2nd, 2017 in San Diego or on live stream.
See you there.
Bye. So I am back. That was my commercial about pathoftheprophecies.com. Yes, there is a way to watch it live, pay-per-view for only $49, which is at pathoftheprophecies.com. You can't miss it. There'll be a little ticker right there with the countdown button. Let me actually show you.
Blessings, everyone. This is Ana Naturaliste.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Oh, these live streams are not the easiest thing sometimes. Okay, so this is the website, Path of the Prophecies. Okay, there'll be a video. Here's the thing. If you want to be in San Diego and come live, you can click Buy Now Tickets in San Diego. But then here it is. This is where it is. Get your virtual ticket now, $49 right here. You just click Get Your Virtual Ticket. Boom. It'll take you to the site to purchase and blah, blah, blah. I can't purchase it because it's me. But and that's it. It's pretty simple. Then you just log in that day and that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple to do. And you'll join us. You'll be part of the group healing. You'll be part of the group meditation. It's really fun and it's really awesome. So that is how it goes down. You know, it was interesting. While we're kind of on the subject of getting pay-per-view or whatever, so many people have trouble with getting my app. Like everybody's been like asking me to do a video. So I'm just going to like show you guys on here. Okay. So it's pretty simple. The leokingapp.com. Okay. It's pretty simple. If you want to buy. Now, if you're on iPhone or Android, just click on that with your phone. App Store. It'll open the App Store and it will open the app and you download it and you subscribe or whatever, okay? If you're on Android, you click that. It'll take you to the Google Play Store. You click it, you install it, you pick which subscription you want, and it's done. If you're not on phone, you click up here on computer. You click the computer. And guess what? Here's the computer. There you go. Get started. You pick 7-day free trial, $5.99 a month, or $7.99 a month for 3 months. You click that. You put in all your information right here, the password that you want to create, the email address that you want, your card information, and you complete the purchase. Then you can always go back to leoking.looksack.com, which is up here, to get to it, okay? And or just always go to the leokingapp.com and click on computer to get to the webpage, and you can watch it. Now, most people have never seen what it looks like to be on the website, okay? Here's what leoking.looksack.com looks like, where you log in, you put, here's my login, right? You log in, okay? Boom. Here's today's picture. Here's today's video. Here's today's horoscope. You click it, and the horoscope plays. Right? Put that. This is me on my iPad. Look at. Here's today's horoscope that you guys missed if you're not on the app. Okay? Here's the weekly intuitive report that I do every week. Boom. You get the weekly intuitive report. Boom. People say, oh, I have problems with my computer. It's not loading the videos. I have really fast internet. I pay for fast internet, so I don't have problems. But if you have really slow internet, I would recommend that you advance your internet if you're going to be watching videos and stuff. But anyway, everything's there. Sun sign horoscopes. Like, here's the Cancer horoscope. If you want to click Cancer, click Cancer. Here's your weekly sun sign horoscope. I go into the whole entire week. I go into the chart of the whole entire week. I talk about it with everyone and how it's going on with people and so forth. So, anyway, I don't want to waste all you guys' time, but that's how you do the Leo King app. So I think I showed both ways if you want to do pay-per-view and if you want to do, or the app. Now let's move on to any questions that people have about what is going on right now, especially what's going on with this Venus transit that's coming up, and or just any other things. Now, I don't like to talk about each sign, so if you have a problem, like if you want to go, why are Sagittarius going through this, or why is my Mars being hit, and da da da. We want to make the questions to where everybody can be able to get their questions answered. So somebody asked, does it do each sign? Yes, I do each sign on the app. Why is everyone going crazy? It's an interesting question, Patty. Well, I think it's not that everybody's going crazy. I think that everybody's put themselves in crazy situations and they don't know how to deal with them. I think that's a better way to put it right now. And Aries kind of forces you to take action upon them. So, people can sometimes think that it's crazy, but I think it's more towards people are dealing with a lot of internal stuff right now, and they're scraping up a lot of their values of who they want to be and what they want in their life. And they haven't done that for 8 years, And, a lot has piled on top of them in their life in 8 years of what they want, and they got that. But it's it's a new cycle now of what you want. It's a new cycle of who you are. And so I think that it's not that people are going crazy. I think that people are changing who they are. Like the last 8 years finally brought us to this point based off what the astrology says is with relationships and everything. It's time to become a new person. You can't go backwards. I think a lot of people are trying to live in their past. I think a lot of people are trying to hope that the past will come back, or somehow somehow my relationship or some project or something is going to revive itself or bring it back to the way that it was. It's got to change into a new identity. This is new identity. There's going to be some very weird relationship transits over the next couple of weeks with Venus square Saturn, with Venus crossing back into Pisces, with Venus conjuncting the sun this week, with Venus coming close to Chiron, with Jupiter squaring Pluto. I mean, there's gnarly stuff going on with relationships. So, a lot of people just are going to have to realize, life changes, people change, things change. And how do we go through that? It's we have to find courage in ourselves. We need to know who we are inside. We have to have our good connection with God. I think that's so important. I think a lot of people, try and put that in externally, like a relationship's going to be the source of my energy. A relationship's the source of everything, where it's God's the number one source first. So I think that there's a lot of people learning that. I think a lot of people are also learning to have that relationship with themselves. That's very important, which I think is difficult for some people right now. So we got a lot of questions. I'm going to have to catch up here. Hold on. Somebody said, I'm having difficult time sticking to the plan or a plan. We are in Saturn and Sagittarius, so things are flexible. Plans can be flexible. It's about, as long as you just get parts of the plan done, you're okay right now. But just picking a beat and sticking to it, and just it's like being in a car. It's okay to change a lot of lanes, but don't get off the freeway, or take another route. I think there's this part where it's with your plans right now, it's okay that you're switching lanes. But, if you switch lanes too much, not only do you wear out the tires, the brakes, you go slower, It's like pick a lane, stay there. There's going to be moments where there's no traffic. There's going to be moments where there is traffic. The moments when it's really trafficy, it makes you feel like you're stuck. And, I think we just went through a gnarly process of that. But I think that there's a lot of go energy right now. And it's one brick at a time. Just keep going and don't stop. It's like laying brick. When you lay brick, it's like it takes a while. The first couple, you're like, oh my God, it's going to take forever. But, after a couple hours and now you get to the third or fourth level, you're starting to build a wall. You're starting to build a wall for a house or whatever. And you start to see it all start to come together, So don't be so hard on yourself either. It was a good question, though. Wow, we got a lot of questions. I'm trying to keep up. Okay. So many relationships are going through torment. I think that there's a lot with relationships right now that are bringing up people's true wants, needs, identities, true persona. And do those true personas and do you guys mirror each other correctly? Like, are you the same kind of identity? So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's torment. I would say that it's more like reality check with this is the kind of person I am and this is the kind of person you are, and let's see if we can work together or not. And so some people have trouble with that. Like, oh gosh, I don't think that's going to be able to work. Like, or they're trying to make it work and it's realizing, oh man, we are just totally different identities, totally different people. I think there's a lot of that going along with the way that Jupiter in Libra is, and the opposition of Uranus is kind of waking people up to that. Jamie just put, I'm watching Age of Deception tonight. Finally, can't wait to see the synchronicity with the knowledge and you have downloaded. Thanks, Jamie. That is like my greatest work I've ever done is Age of Deception, that movie. And it's free. It's on YouTube. Thanks so much. I truly appreciate that. The questions are coming so fast. It's not letting me see them. Okay, hold on. Is Saturn still at the galactic center point? Technically, it is, yes. I don't think that it has hit its full capacity. I did that, I think, in last week's video. Watch last week's live video, which is on YouTube. It's one of my last videos I uploaded, actually. It's like the second or last one. I talk a lot about the retrograde that's coming on April 6th, really about this true, destiny moment, this galactic center point, and what Saturn's doing. But yes, it is. I'll give you a short answer on that one because I did a whole video about it last week. Somebody says, so basically terrible compatibility. I wouldn't say that. On the other front, there's also amazing compatibility that's kind of going on. I think there's going to be some really weird aspects of like having to work through what's really compatible and what's not. And, weighing out if it's going to work or it's not going to work. There's a lot of that with Jupiter right now, with Jupiter square Pluto. Also, are we on the right track? Are we on the right destiny? Are we on the right long-term aspect of things? I think that that's a huge aspect to it all. When desire, there's so much pressure on Pluto. Pluto's also getting ready to stop. Pluto's getting ready to retrograde in April. Saturn's getting ready to retrograde. There's a lot where it's coming to the bottom of, desire, and if desires are met, Aries. One thing about Venus and Aries, and especially that it's retrograde, and especially that the sun's going to conjunct it this week, and there's so much of it, right? Like, you know what that is? Like, it's super hot or it's not. Do you remember there was a website back in the day? It was called hotornot.com. Like, when you look at a quick picture and you're like, wow, it's like super hot. And then you go, yes. And then the next one you go, oh, no. Like that's Venus and Aries. It's either, and that's why it's problem with Libra is ruled in Venus because it doesn't just make a quick decision of thing. It kind of weighs it out first. But Aries is like, I want the instant yes or no, hot or not now. Like, is this relationship hot or not now? Like, it's going to, it's like, I want that hotness now. So, you can really connect in Venus and Aries really quick, and it can become relationships out of nowhere really fast and really heated and really but it can lose its fire very fast. It's a cardinal fire. It starts fast, but it kind of wears out fast too. It's like when you light a match, it's like really hot and then it burns and burns and then it burns and then it burns out, but there's a point to where are you going to continue that fire and keep burning it or not? I think that we're all at a point with that as well. That's another way to put it too. Somebody said, I don't understand the rush. Why rush relationships? That's why Venus is ruled in Libra, where it's not about rushing. But that's why Venus is in Aries right now, retrograding, making that rush intense. And with the retrograde and the sun highlighting that, and with Venus switching into the underworld and moving from the morning star or the evening star to the morning star. I mean, we're going through a huge shift right now with the relationship front and field. We also are getting prepared for a major total solar eclipse in Leo that's coming, that deals with the heart and love, and the North Node, which is moving in Leo in May. And we're at the end of the nodes here over the next 2 months. Actually, it's even less than 2 months. It's like only a month and a half left where the nodes are leaving Pisces and Virgo. So there's a lot stewing and a lot of the end of karma and changing of our reality. And is this really the reality we want? Is this the karma we want to be stuck in? Is this, there's a lot of that that's coming up on top of it all as well too. So there's a lot of that. Somebody says, I really want to know how to get to know your guides. That's something that everybody has their own way. Like, we're all embedded with our own way of connecting with our guides, and it's our own unique way. Like, for me, it was a million different ways that finally brought me to connecting with my angels. Like, I can't even explain it. It's just, I did past life regressions. I did a lot of prayer work. I did a lot of past life work. For me, it was, I had to go to past life work and realize that my guides were part of my past lives. I had to do a lot of future life work, which is something that I don't talk about a lot or how, but you have to know the past to know the future, and you have to know the past to know the present, and you have to connect your present and your past life, or your future life and your past life, to know your present and see where you're at in the whole story. Because based off astrology and based off fate and based off destiny, I'm sorry to say, but yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, this thing is all predetermined and pre-planned, and you know where you're at in the future, and you know where you're at in the past, and you know how to connect there. And for me, that was how I connected with my guides and realized that my guides were not only some of my best compadres, best love, best power in past life, but also, but also part of people in my future that I am with. But in my present, they're my guides now. So that's my story. I mean, that's a crazy story. I do a lot of Palladian channeling back in the day. I did a lot of channeling. Like, for me, channeling is how I do astrology. Like, I didn't read astrology books or go to astrology college and all that stuff. Like, I look at the chart and I look at the math and I look at it all and I channel from my guide. So for me, I'm a channeler, and I learned how to channel. And I think, I think if you don't know how to channel, I'd look into channeling. That's the best way to tap into your guides. Know when your guides are talking, know when they're showing you signs, know when you're synced, know when you're not, know when you're not connected, because being connected with your guides at the same time will let you know when you're not connected with your guides. That means you're usually out of sync with your life. You're out of sync with where you're at. You're not in the right place. So if you're having trouble connecting with your guides, I would start with your environment, and I would start with the life that you're living in front of you, and making a massive overhaul and change, because that's usually the first place of people not connected with their guides, is they're in the wrong place, the wrong energy. There's something about being stuck to life that TV tells us to do in the media, and how you need to be in a relationship, and how you need to go to a certain school, and you have to have a certain job, and you have to do all that disconnects you with the true harmony of your true essence of your spiritual and your soul essence and who you really are, and disrupts that in a big major way. So if you're kind of living in that world and you haven't crossed over to the true side of true essence, if you haven't crossed over out of the matrix yet, like Neo does, if you haven't crossed over yet, it's very hard to connect with your guides in that space when you haven't made the big move yet over. You haven't made the big pilgrimage, I guess you could say, the spiritual pilgrimage. That's another good way to put it. Somebody said, say channel again. I said channel again. Ask your guides to show you that they're there, then I don't know what they said. There's too many questions. It's rolling so fast. Somebody says, I thought past karma was done and over already again. Past karma is never done and over, in my opinion. And also at the same time, There is no past karma. It's kind of a catch-22, but it's you have to always reflect back on your past to know who you are. We reflect back on memories, the memories of me burning my hand on the stove, so I don't burn my hand on the stove. So we go back a lot. We review. The past is our review. The past is our reflection of what has happened, So we always go back to karma. We always go back to the past. It's a reflective position for us in our life. So it's never over. Somebody said, you said channel one, or Felicia said, I said channel 100 times. Yeah, channel. If you don't channel this, and if you don't channel that, and if you don't channel it, you're not going to be channeling. Let's see. Last questions before I got to go. It's so hard to keep up with all the questions. For some reason, my phone, it's bringing it back to the beginning while I'm looking up. I'm trying to go way up there. So I'm just going to stay with what's at the bottom. Somebody said, how do you fully surrender and let go? I mean, I don't know if we ever truly know how to do that fully. I mean, that's not an easy thing, right? But surrendering is about pushing your ego out of the way, your wants, your desires, your need, and letting God be God, and letting God take control, and letting God show the way. Letting go is letting go of control. It's a letting go of the outcome that you wish to have. So there's that part, because usually it's in that moment of let go is actually when God can correct the course for you and get you back on the right track. So letting go necessarily doesn't mean that you're losing it. Letting go means you're letting go of the way that isn't working for you, and there's a better road that's going to take you to a better place. That's the way that I've always looked at it. I'm not going to answer the suicidal question. I have to say, if you're feeling suicidal, contact a suicide hotline or talk to somebody, a doctor or a psychiatrist immediately if you're feeling that way. I'm not going to talk about that astrologically. I would recommend to do that right away, right now, or get your family involved. Felicia asked, are we going to experience similar events from April of 2009? I think so, 100%. That's what I think April's all about, is a lot of that same energy coming back and experience, and you're in a new space and you're unsure about it, but you're good at it, but I don't know. We definitely are. Look back at your pictures in your life from April of 2009. I guarantee you're going to see a deep connection to now. If you know how to read the lines and the patterns very well, you will see them. Anyway, I'm going to get going. It was very fun talking with you all. I'm just going to go over this one more time, this chart with you all, just to show what's going on here with what I see astrologically with all that's going on with this Venus retrograde. Let's do some erasing here. Okay. So Friday into Saturday night, we are going to have Venus conjunct the Sun at 4 degrees into 5 degrees of Aries. This is a big deal. Venus is going to go into the underworld. We talked about it at the beginning of the video. How ironic that it's exactly happening while the moon will be at 0 Pisces. I think that's very interesting to see. Especially the dark moon coming in, and kind of a let go and an emotional surrender about different changes that we have about relationships, value systems, and identity. It's going to be something very powerful. Jupiter as well will be starting its square to Pluto at this exact time that we're going to have the Sun-Venus conjunction happen in retrograde. And Mars will be at 11 degrees. So see what planets you have at 11 Leo, 11 Scorpio, or 11 Aquarius, because they'll be aspected there, or whatever planets that you have at 11 Cancer, 11 Virgo, 11 Sagittarius, and 11 Scorpio and 11 Capricorn, because you'll see some positive aspects that are going to move you forward in this way. All right. But for those in those other spaces, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, they're going to be kind of intense for them. So there's a lot to look at. Watch me on the Leo King app. I will help you through this every day. There's so much to go through. That's why I recommend getting the app. And I talk about it in each sun sign. I talk about it in how it affects you every day, because this is a lot. But I just wanted to put this live video out there because I wanted to talk about it and I wanted to prepare people for what's coming. And it's coming. And nobody has felt the Venus retrograde truly yet until this week. We're really going to feel it. We're really going to see it. We're really going to see how it affects us. It's going to get deep. It's going to get real. And it's about that time. So anyway, I'm sending you guys all my best. Hope you guys are doing wonderful. And I will see you guys all later. And I hope to see you on the Leo King app. Later.
Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.
The Leo King app is the world's first and leading video and notification astrology horoscope app for iPhone, Android, and computer. Get daily spiritual videos and addictingly accurate notifications alongside weekly sun sign horoscopes, tarot videos, and exciting new age entertainment videos by celebrity astrologer and TV personality David Palmer, the Leo King. Join today. You have nothing to lose with a 7-day free trial and wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.
Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.